Hello, I took on a lodger at the beginning of the year and that meant I had to clear out some space for them. And that meant I had to give up my shed. It was a shame because I only built it summer last year, but I needed a space to put my stuff, so I bought a cheap shed online. It is absolutely full of junk, so please don't look too closely. But it definitely reminded me why I build workshops and sheds myself and don't buy them. As I say, I got the cheapest one, but I was kind of shocked at the construction of some of this. The windows are hilarious. Of course, I could have gone for one without windows, but I thought it'd actually be a good thing for people to see in, and any would-be thieves can see that it's just full of junk and there's nothing worth having in there. Wow, it's all precious to me, but no one else. So I think pretty obviously these have to come out. They're no good for security in any way, and they let the rain in. So I'm gonna make my own ones. At the time, I didn't have the time to build my own shed, but with having to do all this extra work, it probably would have just been cheaper to build it myself, but live and learn. Right, let's take some measurements. I've got a little sketch so I can take it into the workshop. The one good thing about having to do this project is I have this pile of scrap treated wood out here, and I reckon I can use a lot of it up on this. These will all be bits left over from when I built my shed. I've got lots of different sizes of wood here. I've got some 3x2s, 4x2s and 5x2s. So the first job is to bring them all down to the same size and get the round edges cut off. It was a bit early to start using power tools, so I went and got my spring shear in, but now I can get it done. Now what I need to do is create something like a picture frame moulding. So I need a little notch cut out of here for the new window perspex I've got, or a clear acrylic to go into. So I'm going to get this cut out on the table saw. So I have the moulding done. Now I'm going to get the bits cut to their final length for the top and the bottom bits of the window. So I need 4 bits because I'm making, well, 2 windows, but really it's going to end up being 1 window, but I'll explain more about that in a minute. Got the 2 bits for the window, the top and the bottom. Now I need the uprights. So what I need to do is take my measurement and minus off it the thickness of these 2 pieces and get it cut. Now this frame needs to go together, but the way it's cut, it won't work. What we'd normally do with a picture frame is cut miters. I don't really want to do that with this because it's not the strongest joint. But what I think I can do is cut this piece out and then it should slot together. don't think I've made a frame with a joint like this before, and in my head I thought it's all going to work and go together, but you're never quite sure until you have it on the bench. So I'm quite pleased how it's all works. Now I'm getting some exterior grade glue on, and I'm going to get this locked together with some exterior screws. That's 2 frames done. Now, I've made 2 frames instead of one big window for a couple of reasons. The first, acrylic sheet is reasonably expensive, and the piece I have wouldn't fill the window, but it will make 2 smaller windows. The other reason is the opening that's there already has a support piece going up the middle. So I had 3 options, I think. 1, chop it out and make a big window. 2, make smaller windows that go either side of it. Or 3, make smaller windows that join together, chop out that central piece, and this nice bit of central frame will kind of replace it. And that's what I've done. And these windows are going to be so much stronger than what's there already. I mean, these are so much better made than any other aspect of the shed. And that's just knocking some scraps together. So yeah, these 2 now can be glued and screwed together to make one large window. I want this to have a windowsill, so with this little strip I've got, I'm going to get to the table saw and put an angle on it. Now, one of the main things a windowsill does is stops water running into a building. So the water will go down the windowsill, but it can run round and back under and in. But what water won't do is run uphill. So I'm going to cut a little notch in it, and that will be a little drip edge. So as soon as the water hits that, it can't go any further and it will fall down. I'm going to do that by just running this back through the table saw and putting a little notch on the underside. Some glue can go on this, and I can get it screwed to the underside of the window. On my scrap pile, I found another piece of angled wood, so I can get this cut down and glued and tacked onto the top of the window to stop water pooling there. That's it all put together. So while I wait for the glue to dry on this, I guess I can get the glazing cut for it. I'm going to use the table saw to cut it. So what I'm going to do is swap out to a 48 tooth. Is that what I mean? Yeah. So I've got a 24 tooth and I'm going to go for a 48 tooth, which is the finest one I have. And hopefully this is going to cut it okay. I've given this all a sand down, so now it's time to paint. Now this workshop is painted black. My other shed is painted black, but apparently everything in a garden shouldn't be black. So I'm being bold and I'm going for some lavender. That sounds gardeny. This is dry, so we can get the glazing in. I have some glazing silicone left over from another project, so I'm just going to put a little bead around the inside of this frame. And I can get the protective film pulled off both sides. Make sure I got it the right way round. No, that was right the first time. And get it down into place. This now needs locking in place, and I have the little strips of wood I cut off to make the mouldings. So I'm just going to mark out how long they need to be, get them cut down, and then just use some little pin nails to hold them in place. Okay, that is it done. So let's go and see if it actually fits in the shed. Before I can get it into place, I've got that bit that needs removing from the shed first. This rather flimsy central support. So I'm just going to cut it off. Just a nail in the top I need to remove. Moment of truth then. Will it actually fit into place? Yes. Bit of persuasion, but that's what we want. There we go, perfect fit. Now I can get some screws in to lock it into place. That's them all in. I'm really pleased with those. I've got 3/4 of a tin of paint left, so I'm going to break my habit of painting everything black and get this shed looking nice and lavender. I'm not sure, but hey, a bit of colour won't kill me. It pained me to buy a shed, and then when I got it and actually saw the quality of it, it pained me even more. But as I say, I just didn't have the time or the money really to build my own and spend maybe a week on something that was probably going to be over-engineered anyway. But there, about a day's work, made some windows, they're so much better. The colour's quite a grey purple actually, so it's not too far off the black. I'm weaning myself off it gradually. So yeah, I think that's a much needed upgrade. So thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.